Hi, this is Mrs. Sue, and we're working on the worksheet where we are talking about rational, irrational numbers, and on the back side about fractions and decimals. This is actually homework 17 in the grade book, so you can go ahead and change that. I'm going to go work through just some of the problems on each page, each side. Number 1, an irrational number. Please go ahead and refer to your notes from today in class. If a number is irrational, we said that it could be two things. One, it could be pi, or two, it could be not a perfect square root. Okay, and if I look here, I do already see a square root here, and square root of 8 is not perfect, meaning it's not like the square root of 4, the square root of 16, or the square root of 100. All of those, square root of 25, are perfect. They turn out to be a whole number answer, which is irrational. So C would be my answer for number 1. Number 2, which one is rational? Rational number here, I do see a bunch of square roots. I'm looking for the opposite of what I said in number 1, and that was the not a perfect square root was irrational. So for rational is the complete opposite, which I'm looking for a perfect square root, giving me a perfect answer. And that would be B, because square root of 4 is equal to 2. That's because 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And that's what the square root means. Number 3, which one is irrational? Again, it could be either pi or not a perfect square root. So if I look at D, I see a square root there, 24. That definitely is not a perfect square root. It doesn't equal to 1 or 2. 4 times 4 makes 16, so it's not 24. 5 times 5 makes 25, so it's too big. No, D would be my answer. Okay, all the other ones are rational numbers. Number 4, which is a rational number. Here we go. Rational is the opposite of a perfect square. Now, let's look at A. That's not a perfect square, so that is definitely irrational. Pi, we also said, was irrational. Okay, so not a perfect square, so not that one. Pi is, these are irrational. This is also irrational. So which one would be rational? What about the square root of 1.6? Actually, that is equal to not rational either, meaning D is my answer. And if you look through your notes, a rational number is a fraction. Okay, remember the word ratio that is in the word rational. Ratio right there. Then that helps me to know that this fraction is a ratio, also a rational number. Okay, going to the back side of the worksheet now. Which fraction is the same as 0.35? In my triangle, I have fractions here, decimals here, and percent here. And I might have made a mistake with the way that I showed the triangle to you. But if I wanted to take a decimal, change it into a fraction, then what I want to do is to put the number over the place value. Okay, and then making sure all fractions are simplified. Okay, so if I write 0.35 in the place value that 5 appears, it appears in the hundredths place value. So I would put the number 35 without the decimal. I would drop that, write it over 100, then simplify that. So I can divide both of those by 5. 35 divided by 5 is 7. Already I know that it could be A or C. Okay, not B. I could cross that out, or D. Now, should it be 2 or 20? If I divide 100 by 5, 2, oh, definitely not 2. That's too small. 20. That would be your correct answer. And that is a helpful way as you look through the multiple choice answers. Number 2, very similar. We are moving from the decimal to the fraction. I look at the 6. It's also like number 1. It's in the hundredths place value. So I would take 76, put that over 100. Make sure I simplify by dividing both of them by 2. Let's see what I get here. 3 and 8, 38 and 50. I could divide it by 2 again. giving me 1816 over 25. When I keep dividing here by 2, give me 8. Oopsies. I think I messed up. Oh, there we go. 1925. Okay, there is my answer. And I realized I was making some mistakes in my dividing. So what I did was I went to look at my choices and I thought, well, that didn't seem right. I must have made a mistake in my dividing, which I did, and I was able to correct myself because I did see the 25, and I could have guessed maybe this answer if I wasn't 100% sure, and giving me that answer. Okay, number 3, I'm going to take this decimal, fraction, and make it into a decimal. So in my triangle, I have fractions up here, first, decimal down here, and then a percent in the corner. So first, we say fraction at the top, down below is the decimal, so that you remember where they go. If I change a decimal into a fraction, then what I'm going to do is divide. That's the part of my notes I took today. Now I'm going to divide 4 and 6. But before I do that, rather than going ahead and putting the number on the top in the box, or top in, bottom out, then I'm going to first simplify both of that. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I go to divide, my numbers are smaller. So I'm going to divide 2 over 3 instead of, so in my box 2, number on the top, which is 2, goes in the box, bottom out. I'd rather do this division problem instead of the one at the bottom. So when I divide that, put a 0 here, put my decimal up at the top, bring it up, I get a 6, 18, subtract, I get a 2, I add another 0, I get a 20, I get a 6, I still get an 18, and I keep doing that, so it seems like I'm getting a 6 repeating, which would be the answer B. Okay, number 4, last problem I'm going to do for the video. Which fraction is the same as 1.25? For some of that might be mental math, because 1 is a 1 whole. Okay, and 0.25, maybe we know that as 1/4 or 1/4, and we think money. Then quarters are worth 0.25 or 25 cents. So we're able to figure out that 1.25 is like a money, $1.25, which is 1 1/4, giving us the fraction. I don't see 1 1/4 here, so I know that that definitely isn't the answer, even though it looks like it. I don't think I'm supposed to have a 25 in my denominator, nor 1 in the numerator, and this would be the correct answer. However, it's written in a mixed, so you do have to interchangeably know mixed and improper so that you're able to choose correct answers on a multiple choice test. Okay, I hope you may work out the other ones by yourself. See you tomorrow.